Greetings and salutations, one and all, to another fun-filled episode of the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag, coming to you live from many caves. As always, I'm joined by the two incredible friends of mine and a special guest as well, Bill and Justin. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh,
What's going on?
and we have you wanted them back, we wanted them back, and they are back here once again. Backtrack Vocals from New York City is on our podcast once again. Hello, Backtrack Vocals.
Hey. Hi.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. You guys got a new album coming out
Yeah.
that you're very excited about. We're going to talk about that. We got some new tracks that you will listen to exclusively here tonight.
Yes, correct.
Exclusively. But before we get to any of that, got chat board. Ask some questions. We'll get to those later, and we'll ask Backtrack. So let's have some fun tonight.
Yes.
All right.
If our live viewers have any questions to ask Backtrack Vocals, please wait until the end of the show. We'll save some spots just for you out there. But yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? So, Bill, why don't you start them off with a question that we've one of our questions we've put out for them, shall we?
Absolutely. So, guys, a lot has happened since you guys last been here. If you guys haven't watched that one, folks, go watch it. You guys released a new album. You guys been on doing a lot of traveling. We'll get to all of that. So this new album, tell us about it. What was the writing process like? And tell us about the album in general.
Yeah, so the album is called Part of the Fun, and in true Backtrack fashion, we are inviting all of our listeners, all of our fans, even if you're not a fan yet, we invite you to come join us and be part of the fun on September 29th. That's its release date. September 29th, wherever you stream your music, you can find Part of the Fun by Backtrack Vocals. So title first, and then as far as how we created the album, a lot of it was made on tour.
Yeah, yes, that is true. This has been a process taking around a year and a half. And we did a lot of the work when we were on the road. So while we were in the Midwest, we wrote a lot of the songs. And then last spring, we recorded them. So we're really excited to be releasing our first all originals album.
Yes, it's very exciting. Justin,
amazing.
JT.
Justin, if you don't mind, I have a follow-up question to that. Because for those of you who remember from last time, Backtrack Vocals is an a cappella group, and a cappella is mainly covers for the most part, but this is your first album of original material. As you just said, that's truly amazing. So bravo to you. I cut you off, Justin. Go on. What do you got?
No, mirroring what you said, JT, it is an astounding achievement to be doing the acapella album of all original material. How long have you guys been wanting to do an album like that?
We've been talking about it for a long time. Sorry. So I joined the group in 2015, and we did our first original song in 2016. And probably since Mike joined in 2017, we've been saying, we need to do an original.
Every year, we keep saying, we gotta do one, we have to do one. So we had a really long set of tours over the past 2 years. And as Melissa mentioned earlier, we took the first set through the Midwest to really just brainstorm, write all these songs, get them down on paper, just even lyrically first before they were arranged musically. And then all that process happened, and we went on another tour, and then we recorded all of the music. So that was really exciting to sort of make the album as we were touring while we're talking a lot about touring. And you'll see that later in some of these songs.
There we go.
Yes. Next question. I think I kind of already asked about this, but what was the writing process like?
Yeah, so this was actually my first time ever writing original music ever in my life. It wasn't something that I ever thought I could do, but once I started doing it and had the help of my amazing friends and coworkers, it just became like a really fun process. And so, yeah, I think on the road, we were in the car in our van, and we would just throw ideas back and forth, especially for our album song, Part of the Fun. that was definitely a collaborative effort with all of us and just throwing ideas around.
Yeah, the writing process and recording process, because I think this sort of follows up to that a bit, was a really new thing for Backtrack in that typically we record one song at a time and we've got maybe one studio session to sort of get it right.
Yeah.
But in recording a whole album, we were able to go back to songs and say, well, we want this to be maybe a little bit moodier. So some of the vocals got re-recorded or, you know, were edited differently. I think having the time to take the time with this process is something that was very new and exciting for Backtrack.
Yeah, and we all wrote some of our own songs on the album as well as a collaborative song. And I think each person's writing process is a bit different. Like I know even for the 2 songs that I wrote, my process for both of them were entirely different. So I think it just depends on the person and the song that you're going after too. It's all very individual.
Awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So what is your guys' favorite track off this album?
Oh gosh. I think we
Yeah, we asked you the hard questions.
What's yours?
I really love Fire. That's a song that Mike wrote, and it's about like friendship and all being together. And it's just very meaningful and poignant, and I really love that one. It always gives me chills every time I listen to it.
It's very kind. I was actually going to say my favorite is the song that opens the album, which is one that Chrissy wrote, and one that you will hear tonight, friends. This is called Serendipity, and yeah, the message is just really, really cool, and more about that later.
And my favorite, I'll say, is Part of the Fun. I think that one being the most collaborative effort, it really encapsulates a lot of the feelings we were having, which is just being silly and having fun and saying yes and to life and to each other. So that one, listening back, I always am laughing because Mike is hilarious.
We go wild
ridiculous
on that track.
But yeah, I think so. With Backtrack, we emphasize heart and humor. We kind of say that's what we infuse into our live shows as well as our music videos. So I think that song is a really nice example of humor.
Yeah, definitely.
And Fire is a great one for heart.
Yeah.
For watching you guys for the last couple of years, you guys just seem like when you guys perform, you just have so much fun. So
that's why you have to come be part of the fun
Exactly.
on September.
part of the fun.
Because people tell us that all the time, that, you know, the live shows are so fun, and every time we've ever done an original at a live show, the audience is really, really quick to take to it.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah. All right, gents.
I have a very, I'm not sure how to word this exactly, but you mentioned that you wrote a lot of this on the road when you were touring. Was there a specific place where you were playing when you were on tour that may have inspired one of the songs at all? Was there like a specific, like, let's say you're in like California or another part of the world, you know what I mean? Was there a certain like location where it inspired a specific song at all? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll talk specifically. So you're not going to hear Fire tonight, but Fire is one of the songs that is on this album. It closes the album. And as we were touring through the Midwest, we had one house that didn't have any internet, and we had to gather around a stove and make a fire. It was just so cool. And I think a lot of the inspiration and images come from being in that tiny cabin and building a fire in the Midwest.
So where in the Midwest was that?
I think Montana.
Yes. Place when we were off the grid was in Montana. I thought that was a charming way. I'm like, ooh, this really cute Airbnb off the grid. And I'm like, no. Then we got there and we're like, we have solar power that is out, and like we have to, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it so much. Wrote a song about it.
So you guys were in the middle of nowhere, Montana,
Yes.
and just going around the fire and writing that song. That's cool, and I'm trying to say nice things because I don't want to add another state to the list of states I'm banned from.
We had a great time in Montana.
It's extensive.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah, that sounds really cool.
Justin, do you have anything to follow up with them on, or?
I have a couple questions for later.
Okay. Do we want to go to a song by chance right now, or is that okay? Or
What do you guys think? You guys wanna
it's up to you.
I think let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All
let me-
right. So which one should we do first?
We have completely incomplete, part of the fun, and serendipity. Which one would you like to go first?
All right.
Sure, serendipity, yeah.
Yeah, let's start with the song that opens the album.
Okay, so you want to tell us a little bit about this song before we play it?
Yeah, so this is actually the first song I've ever written.
Okay.
The chorus just kind of came to me one day when we were driving in our minivan through the Midwest. But it's not about the Midwest. Before joining Backtrack, I was teaching a lot. I was teaching some private voice lessons, dance, a cappella classes at a private performing arts studio. And actually, like, education is a huge part of what Backtrack does. So any schools out there, any students, I know you just started school probably. Let us know if you'd like us to come to your schools. We are very passionate about arts education, but sorry, I digress. Anyway, I was teaching and I was also performing quite frequently in the musical theater industry in New York City, regional theater, Broadway, that sort of thing. And I really loved auditioning in that scene and doing the musical theater thing. It was like definitely a passion of mine. But it was also like a very challenging space to be in because, you get compared a lot of judgment. You hear the word no a lot more than you hear the word yes. There's a lot of rejection in that industry. And while it was like so much fun, it was just also like a challenging place. And when the pandemic hit, everything turned to self-tapes. And I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist. So I was just like judging myself a little bit more harshly than I wanted to be doing. And I just
Join the club.
Yeah, I just felt like it wasn't really serving me anymore. So I wanted to find, a place in my life where there was more consistency and just more of performing and doing what I love to do. And so I came across Backtrack and saw that they did a lot of educational, work, and I'm very passionate about that. I went to school for music ed. And I also saw they did a lot of performing, which I'm also very passionate about. So once I joined Backtrack, like I auditioned that first day and it just felt like the vibes were so right. It immediately was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. It felt like serendipity. So that's exactly why I wrote this song. It was inspired by my journey getting into Backtrack, and it just felt like serendipity being with these people.
That is awesome. Okay, so here from their new album, here is Backtrack Vocals with Serendipity. Here we go.
Stuck in a spiral, am I even good enough? Telling me no, trying to call me on my bluff. I can't take one step without judgment. I can't take one step, no. I'm losing sight cause I can't help but to compare. Is it my voice, my body, clothing, or my hair? I wish I was better than nothing. But serendipity, I need a little bit of the real thing. Serendipity, to find where I'm supposed to be. It'll happen for a reason, and timing is everything. Serendipity, when will it be my turn to have a dream? I wanna walk in and I wanna like the vibe. Laughing so hard, don't even need to fake or try. I just wanna feel like a glove, yeah. Whoa, I wanna hear somebody finally tell me yes. Playing the queen like it's a perfect game of chess. Time to stop and find a new cadence. Serendipity, I need a little bit of the real thing. Serendipity, to find where I'm supposed to be. It'll happen for a reason. Time is everything. Serendipity, when will it be my turn to have a dream? I know, yeah, I know it won't slide right by. What's meant for me or what's meant to come? What's meant to come? I wanna stand under the light. me. Find where I'm supposed to be, yeah. It'll happen for a reason. The timing is everything. Serendipity. Oh, when will it be my turn? Serendipity. I need everything to find where I'm supposed to be. Supposed to be, supposed to be, supposed to be. Yeah. When will it be my turn to have a dream? When will it be my turn to have a dream?
Absolutely amazing.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to share that
Absolutely.
with my girlfriend. She would love that.
Oh, okay. Well,
There
thanks
you
a
go.
lot.
She watching tonight, Justin?
Probably.
I hope she is, because we got to get some questions coming, and the questions are coming in as we are talking, which is fantastic. That was amazing. 10 out of 10 right there, straight up.
Aw.
Fantastic.
Bravo.
Very catchy. Harmony's great.
It's beautiful. Seriously, it's fantastic. I actually have a follow-up question on what you were just saying about education and music a cappella as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of backstory about me as well. My cousin is he lives as you know, we're in New York as well, but he actually does stuff on Broadway too.
Cool.
He went to USC in California and for acting, and he's trying to he has an off Broadway thing going.
Yeah.
What advice maybe could you give to not just him but other people who are maybe college students or like people who want to get to where you are now? Where would you say that what's some advice you could possibly give them about how to, break out into like the arts, if you will? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely like keep training and honing your skills. Like especially in the Broadway world, you have to, especially these days, you have to be able to really kind of do everything.
Okay.
Dancing, singing, acting, all of those things, especially, but also developing yourself as a human too, and just like different skills in any sort of vein that you're interested in, like they all actually come in handy. And there's so much about the industry too that I feel like people tend to like lose themselves and their humanity in the arts sometimes, and it's just so important to like keep yourself in it too. So like find other things that you love and like really expand on those passions as well. But if you're really trying to get into the arts, like training is a huge thing. You really gotta get some good training, and keep going after your dreams. Like why not you? You can do anything that you set your mind to. So
Awesome. That very inspiring, very good answer. Thank you so much. Justin or Bill, do you guys have another question?
Justin, you're right ahead.
Yeah, I have one. So I took a look at I watched your video for Broadway Goes Acapella. I saw the Dear Evan Hansen medley that you guys did. Brilliant. I loved it. Really did. How was it like sharing the stage with members of the community that you were there celebrating?
so
Yeah,
much fun.
the acapella community is very tight knit. The one in New York City, the one nationally and internationally as well. So we're really excited to be a part of Broadway Goes Acapella. We sang with a lot of friends who we've sang with in the past. So it's just good to share the stage with them again. And every time we have one of those gatherings, it really reminds me just why we do what we do and like how important the voice is and bringing music together, how great that feels. So it's been awesome to get to hang out with them, and hopefully we're going to have another joint show coming soon this fall.
Yeah, we love them.
Awesome.
Yes. My next question is we talked a lot about traveling. You guys went to, since you guys were last year, you guys went to Kazakhstan, which looks like you guys had an absolute blast. And also you guys have done a lot of, work at schools, you guys have done camps. How has that tied into all of this?
To the album.
to the album. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely themes of being on the road, themes of friendship, and also individuality all come through on the album. I think all the songs we wanted to have a positive message that we could bring to schools, and you know, someone, whatever life situation they're in, maybe they can relate to one of our songs and that makes them feel better. So we definitely wanted to keep it relatable. And
Well, I would say the song that you wrote, Completely Incomplete, which they will hear later tonight, has a big message about being away from a loved one, which is a lot of what we do.
yes, true. Yeah, I wrote Completely Incomplete, which is about my husband and how I'm completely incomplete when we're not together, but in the end, it's all better because, you know, our love grows stronger. But that one I wrote thinking about our times in Vietnam and Kazakhstan specifically. We have been part of this program called Arts Envoy through the State Department, where we've gotten to go to these countries and work with their students and perform at different areas. We ran a summer camp in Kazakhstan, so that was really cool. And then we actually just found out we will be going to Mauritius and the Seychelles.
Yeah, East Africa.
Do you know where?
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Eastern African islands. We could not be more excited. We
So
probably
excited.
got the email about a week to the day, and we are so thrilled.
Yeah, and that's through American Music Abroad, which is
An Arts
similar.
Envoy program.
Yeah, Arts Envoy program. Yeah.
So when are you guys going there?
End of March. Yes, into April for like two or 3 weeks.
Yes, so if you want to get us at your school before then, we are certainly available then.
You got 6 months.
March is typically Music in the Schools month, but we'll be gone, so
Yeah.
book us before.
Or after.
Or after.
Yeah.
Or after.
All right. J-Man, back to you.
Back to me, shall we? So we already asked you about touring for the new album, if you will. How long is, like, going back to the creative process for a second, because I know that you this is an original album of original material. How exactly would you say, like, I know I asked about like where you were, like, location wise for the inspiration for the album. How would you say, like, the overall, like, has your excitement built for it? I mean, I can only imagine what it's like writing a song or singing a song. How would you say the creative process is like going into this new album that comes out later this month in September? What would you say the creative process was like aside from, like, location, like what else drew, like, inspiration for it?
Yeah, the post-production process for this album has been really, really interesting.
Mm.
You know, there's initial mixes of every song, and we've gone back and tweaked probably everything.
Yeah.
I mean, just to make it exactly what we want, you know, either in mood or lyric or tone of voice even. A really fun part of putting this together, which was a new thing for us, was arranging each song and seeing how it would flow as an album. That was a really fun day for us.
Yeah, and just making sure we like hit on all the themes too that we wanted to hit on across the album, like, you know, talking about like relationships and like tour life, you know, yeah, all the different like things that we go through as people.
We wanted to invite everybody in on that.
Yeah, in on our lives, in on the group's life, that sort of thing. So just
Be part of the fun,
Right.
be part of some
our
of
lives.
some of
Yeah.
our trips and our adventures.
Yeah, the failures, the successes, all of it.
Yeah.
So it's
You-
basically like
yeah.
inviting the others in to be part of your lives or part of the fun.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. It's like, come with us for a little bit. We've got a fun story to tell.
And it's a journey. It has ups and downs, you know.
Would you just a follow-up question you mentioned the track listing? Is there a certain, like, you know, you I'm sure you've heard the term concept album, where the Beatles had Sgt. Pepper and like it told the narrative, the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's things like that. And would you say there's a story, like a common thread? You mentioned, I think you kind of said that, like there's a common thread almost through the album of happiness, or I don't know if there, would you say like there's like a narrative through the album, like almost like the track 1 leads to track 2 leads to track 3 kind of thing, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we definitely put a lot of consideration into the flow of the album and like where it takes you emotionally.
Right.
I would say that we did our best to make sure, like Chrissy said, that like all of our boxes were ticked and that we wanted to share and invite people into what it looks like for us on the road. And that like this album is just a musical reflection of that. So, you know, you'll see really weird, goofy moments in certain songs. You'll see true heartfelt things, and that's part of our branding entirely, really. We just are heart and humor. We think that whether there's like a true story to be told in the album, that's up to you as the viewer.
course.
And you know, maybe you'll find little through lines throughout, maybe little Easter eggs throughout, especially even on the album art itself. So take a look at that.
Yeah.
But we would say that, yeah, there's a through line, but it's probably not as obvious as like reading a script per se.
Okay, gotcha. Because I know that so many artists like they put like albums in sequential order, like, oh, it's supposed to tell like like an arc throughout the album kind of thing. And I wasn't sure if there was one of those or not, but yeah,
Because,
that's
you
awesome.
know,
It was
that-
more that we wanted to make sure that the emotions themselves had an arc in the album.
I see. Okay.
so you
Gotcha.
want it to be basically emotional roller coaster, happy, sad, heartfelt, not so heartfelt.
Totally,
Mhm,
totally.
Yeah.
Smooth bumps, smooth
In
bumps,
all
smooth.
the feels, and by the time it's done, we hope that, you know, you feel like maybe you've learned something or laughed a bit or loved a bit more.
Or related to something.
Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Speaking of learning something, were there any lessons that you guys encountered in making this album that you want to take with you for your next album?
Ooh.
Great question.
Not everything makes a good recording studio. So a lot of this, as we mentioned, was done on the road, and part of the fun of that was finding literal mattresses and dragging them into rooms and making our own little recording studios out of them. So that was a learning process, how to take your Airbnb and make it soundproof.
Yeah.
I see that being a challenge.
Yeah, for me, I learned a lot about the songwriting process that I think I will take with me into future albums. Again, this is like all very new for me personally. So I like learned a lot through that process, and it was also really like cathartic too, to be able to put out my emotions into songs. And so I think it's given me a little bit more confidence to be able to do that more, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think for me, just collaborating more on this album has been something new and exciting. I've written original music before. I have my own original EP that's out. But getting to work with others on this album was really exciting. And I think a lesson I learned was being open to the song taking different forms, or maybe something coming together in a way I didn't imagine. The song that we'll listen to, Completely Incomplete, started with like a very different melody and feel, and then working with our music director and the group, we kind of found a different style of the song that like I absolutely love. So I'm very happy that I did have that collaboration, and looking forward to doing that even more.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so what do you think was the most difficult part about this? Was it just like trying to find right recording studios, or
Yeah, I think for me, again, like starting the songwriting process was difficult in some ways, but also fun challenges to work through. I also think just making sure we like really got the final product that we wanted was a challenging piece of it, because it's like we could always tweak it more, we could always go in like different directions. It's like where does the final product end? Like where do we feel happiest with it? You know, it's because we are perfectionists, and like being a musician, sometimes you get into that like cycle of, oh my gosh, but it could always be better. But it's like, I think, yeah,
the most
Such a
difficult
challenging
part
part.
is like is what we're about to do now, is release it, I think.
yeah.
The most difficult part is about to be sharing it all, because we're so excited, and there hasn't been anything difficult about this. It's been so exciting, you know, it's been challenges that we've learned from, and now we're excited to share all of that.
so it's basically like the excitement of everything is worth the difficulty that you guys had to go through for this.
It's like it's December 26th, but you know that it's going to be Christmas again next year.
There we go. There we go.
That was a
That's
great analogy.
great analogy.
Great analogy. And Bill, I think there's a time to do another song. Do you think we can do another song now, or
I think we could do another song. You guys down?
Yeah.
All right. So which one do we want to do next?
we
Probably
did?
good.
Yeah, we just talked about.
We were just talking about
music,
traveling and being away from loved ones, so.
Yeah.
Let's do
All
that
right.
one.
So completely incomplete.
Yeah, Bill, it's ready to share whenever you're ready.
Okay. So Melissa, you want to talk a little bit about this that you haven't already said?
Yeah. So again, it's the message is that, I'm completely incomplete without my husband, but really we are so thankful for all of our loved ones. Like the only reason we can do what we do is because of the support and their love. So I wanted to just write a song for him that was to express that. And yeah, I was reflecting on our international travels and just, I wanted to still talk about how exciting it is to travel, but then also not the hardship, but the hard part is being away from home and being away from your loved ones. So I did want to acknowledge that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that is difficult.
Bittersweet feeling.
Okay. Here is. Excuse me for a sec.
Take
Okay.
your time, man. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Once again, here is backtrack vocals with completely incomplete.
Pixel sharp, a strong connection can't replace your affection. Miles away, I long for your embrace. Show me the world around you. I can picture I'm there too. Souls at the same time and place. I'm completely incomplete without you. I'm completely incomplete without you. And I've got to admit, no use fighting it. I'm completely incomplete without you. Tuck this memory away and keep it for another day. You're not here, but I still hear your laugh. For now we go our separate ways, but growing from within the space is a stronger love, one that's made to last. Completely incomplete without you. I'm completely incomplete without you. And I've got to admit, no use fighting it. I'm completely incomplete without you. You complete me, baby. 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 I'm completely I'm completely incomplete without you. And I got to admit, no use fighting it. I'm completely incomplete without you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
That was unbelievable.
Thank you.
Very nice, very heartfelt too.
Very, very heartfelt.
What a
So-
high note.
Yeah.
What?
What a high note.
Oh, yep. Had to go into the whistles a little bit. At least once ago.
Yeah.
You had to show it off.
Yeah.
Her husband has to hear her all the way from the Seychelles.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Amazing.
That was very, very nice. And I'm sure, was that like a difficult song to write, like emotionally, or?
Yeah, I think it was hard to make it real. Like the lyrics also went through some changes. I think initially it was maybe a little just like surface level, and I think I did have to dig a little deeper to actually find lyrics that, you know, gave the song what I was actually feeling inside.
I love the imagery in it. I think
yeah.
the first line is, to me, is like one of my favorite lines of the album. Pixel sharp, a strong connection can't replace your affection. Miles away, I long for your embrace. Like, that's just beautiful.
That is beautiful.
I love that.
And you can just see it.
I love that, Mel.
Especially in the pandemic.
Yeah.
We saw that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helps what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Justin, do you have a question, or Bill, or anyone?
Justin?
So I kind of be remiss to not mention a couple months ago you guys had a new single come out, Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? Beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. You really took Billie's words and melodies, really made it your own. Now you collaborated with Ultrasonic and I'm sorry, Ultrasonic and
Yes, match.
Yeah.
Match is the
how was the collaborative process on that one? Especially since you're sort of bringing in some people you haven't really worked with before.
Yeah, totally. So Match is somebody, who we just know through the acapella community and, is a good friend of Craig's, who's in that video and produced this album. That was a really fun invitation and collaboration there. Ultrasonic, Backtrack really has like a very deep connection with. They're somebody who we've known since they were about 9 years old, if you can even believe it.
Oh, wow.
And, we've seen them at festivals and they just have the best mom in the world who we also love. Shout out to Mama Sonic. But yeah, really, but I think not to sort of drive it in one way or the other, but what was really special for that collaboration was having Ultrasonic be in it after working with them for all of those years, because the song is about growing up and that was just so sweet.
That's so nice.
Amazing.
JT?
All right, back over to me for another question. Given that this is your first album of original material, have you been I can only imagine how, like, as an artist, it must be like you may have been like craving it, or have you been like, how long has it you've been like wanting to? Because acapella, most people think of like, Pitch Perfect, they do covers or whatever, but this is like as we've been saying, this is your first album of original material. Have you been dying to do it? Has it been on the back burner? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've been absolutely itching to do it. I think most importantly, we just want to continue to put that stamp of heart and humor on Backtrack. And as we were writing these songs, it just felt like the perfect way to do it. Was we finally found, the right words to say, the right flow, and this album just works so well to convey that, we like to have a good time, but also show you that we got full hearts.
Yeah, we love covers. I mean, obviously, if you're in acapella, you love doing covers, but we also have our own voices as artists, and I think we really have been itching to show that. Like Melissa said before, like they've been wanting to do this since ever since like Mike got in the group, and they've released some singles of original music before too. So it's just, yeah, we've been itching to do it for a really long time.
Awesome.
And kind of follow up here. Do you guys feel like, since this is an original album, do you kind of feel like you're beating that notion of, I think JT already said about that acapella groups are just basically cover bands?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to expand people's understanding of acapella, because there are really great acapella originals out there. It's just obviously as a art form, it kind of started with that, and that's a lot of what we get hired to do. So I think going back to what you were saying about not being itching to do this, I think a reason it did take us so long is because we make our money from live performance, and really people hire us for the covers, but we have been performing our originals at shows throughout years. And as Mike said, we got like really awesome feedback on it. So I think we're excited to incorporate even more of that into our live performance and to establish ourselves as artists with our own original voice.
Can you imagine a song covered by another artist of a backtrack song? Mind blown right there, right?
Love that.
That's
Please do
amazing.
that, whoever you are.
Someone out there cover that. Bill, I cut you off. Sorry about that. What is
Oh,
that?
no, that's okay. But like, what would you say to those who may be a little hasty? Like, oh, seriously, a acapella originals? No, I just want to hear them do Africa by Toto or Pompeii by Bastille or Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't want to hear an original. What would you say to that crowd?
You know, I would say that you will surprise yourself, and that songs that you know and love from the radio and your deep album collection might be reflected in this too. You know, we took a lot of inspiration from a lot of different types of artists to write this. So I think there's something for everybody.
Yeah, and also like we are an a cappella group, but you can think of us as a vocal band too. Like we are just a band
Perfect.
who is covering, who is
Creating.
creating our own voice and our own music, and you know, take that as you will. But
All right. Anyone? Next question.
Justin, you got anything?
I am good.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Bill. What do you
go
got?
ahead.
I was gonna say we have some people in the chat board jump in. We'll get to you guys in a second, I promise.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, Melissa, there's a question I wanted to ask you last time around, but I didn't get to ask you.
Okay.
For any of those who watched the previous thing that we did last year,
Yep.
You said you quit your job to join this group. Were your friends or family like, "Oh, wonderful, awesome"? Were they like, or what the word I can't say on air? Or were they just like, whatever?
So it's definitely some hesitation. I was originally working at an insurance company, studying to become an actuary. So I was on this really like stable and exciting career path, but I joined Backtrack and just found it so much more fulfilling. And when it really came to that point where I had to make the jump into really trying to do this, I talked to my parents, and you know, they have always trusted me, and they know that I work hard and you know, whatever I put my mind to, I'll do everything I can to make it happen. And then also my husband, so we were actually dating at the time. So he met me when I was like actuary Melissa. So he was more like thrown by that, because I don't think I had never anticipated being a professional singer. But he was absolutely supportive. I mean, he saw how much I love this group, and he's also like such a big fan. He's always crying in the audience. So
We love him.
we love him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they were all ultimately very supportive.
awesome.
Okay, so JT, we got the chat board, another song. What do we want to do?
Let's do another song really quick. Let's do the last song, and then we'll jump over to you, the live viewers, and we'll see what they have to say in a second. But Bill, why don't you share that last song with us?
Okay, we actually got the title track.
Whoa.
We got the title track, part of the fun. Mike, you want to explain about this, or?
Sure, yeah. So as we've said a little bit throughout, this was one of those songs on the album that was a really big collaboration, and we wrote the whole thing in the car. So we were really just sort of thinking about the ways that we are performers and what that looks like to other people. You know, we're a traveling clown car at times. We are, you know, fairy princesses sometimes and princes to little kids. You know, there's a lot of way that people look at performers and at people who tour for a living. So we sort of wanted to take a moment and reflect on that in a song and have a second to call out all the silliness that happens on the road to us, with us, because of us. You know, there are lines in here that are like truly just taken, as silly as they may seem, they're taken just from real life. Like we often say that we camp in hotel rooms and feel no shame. You know, depending on what side of the earth we're on, it's daytime outside, but we can see the moon. You know, it's a lot of reflection on the joys and the silliness of being a traveling entertainer.
That sounds okay. All right, so here with the title track part of the fun, here is backtrack vocal.
When I walk into a wall, I just brush it off. When I'm at a carnival, I don't scream, I scoff. Let's run away, I'll let you pick my name. We're getting lost, but I call it a game. Get into a new view and put on the big shoe, 'cause it looks hysterical. We're all laughing with you. I want a dry summer, but you give me rain. I live in a hotel room and I feel no shame. It's daytime outside, but I can see the moon. It's starting to pour, but that's all ending soon. I drive under rainbows, collect pots of gold, then give cards to strangers. It never gets old.
I've been cramped in a clown car, I just honk my nose. I put on the costume, you know how it goes. You're laughing at me, but I'm laughing too. The glass is half full, yeah, that's my point of view. You want good jokes, but I'll give you a pun. No plan, just yes, and that's part of the fun, yeah. To put on a show, you need lights and a tent. Amuse me. I want entertainment. I fall in the leaves and then slip on the ice. If you miss it the first time, then I'll do it twice. Keep pie on your face and a trick up your sleeve. To catch more flies with honey, you have to keep bees. I've been cramped in a clown car, I just honk my nose. I put on the costume, you know how it goes. You're laughing at me, but I'm laughing too. The glass is half full, yeah, that's my point of view. You want good jokes, but I'll give you a pun. No plan, just yes, and that's part of the fun. You want good jokes, but I'll give you a pun. No plan, just yes, and that's part of the fun. Yeah.
That was so fun. Oh my god.
That was a really fun. That was a really fun. Again, I've just been hearing again, and we touched upon this. The range. You got the heartfelt song. You got the fun song. You got the.
Mhm.
Yeah, the hills and valleys.
Hills,
Those are valleys. Awesome.
So when does this album come out again? September 29th. Is that correct?
Correct. September 29th, wherever you stream your music, look for Part of the Fun by Backtrack Vocals.
All
Awesome.
right. So iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music.
Even if you still have Napster, you can find it there.
And we're doing little short reels also on social media, Instagram, TikTok. So make sure to look out for that too.
Yeah, all of our handles are at Backtrack Vocals. So instead of making music videos for any of these, you can find short form content and they're fun. They take place in, you know, maybe in some
Everyday.
carnival scenes and some other fun places too.
Do you guys have like a tour coming up to promote the album or?
Yeah, so we don't have a tour for the album specifically, but anytime you find us on tour, you know, from September 29th onward, you will be able to purchase this album from us in person, and we would love to sign it for you.
Oh, even better.
Awesome.
Signed merchandise. There we go.
Okay, so JT, do we get to the chat board?
Yes, we actually have Justin. I believe your girlfriend's actually watching our podcast right now. She actually has a question for Backtrack Vocals as well. She says, what was your favorite song to cover live?
Cover.
We probably all have different answers for this.
Yeah.
Hey, let's hear them.
So we do this arrangement of Somewhere Over the Rainbow at our live shows, and it's without microphones. We usually do it at the end of the show, and that's 100% my favorite, just because the harmonies are very tight. It's like very barbershop-esque, and it's just like a gorgeous arrangement. So I love that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I love our Beethoven medley. You can find that on our YouTube channel as well and across all streaming platforms. It's just so fun, and you know, It goes through 3 of Beethoven's songs with some trap beats. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think my favorite is our cover of Hit 'em Up Style, parentheses, oops,
Mm.
Lou Cantrell. It's just like a really fun, sassy song, and Chrissy does all of our choreography. So if you come to a live show, you will see us popping and locking and trying to please our choreography queen. But yeah, she's also like belching her face off, and it's like
It's
always
so
a crowd
fun to
pleaser.
sing.
So that's
It
one of
is
my
so
favorite
fun.
ones for sure.
Yeah, and I think you guys did that the last time you guys were here.
Oh yeah. But we didn't do it
Yeah,
with
we didn't-
choreography.
Mm.
So.
Yeah. So, any other questions on the chat board?
Chat board's been pretty quiet other than that, but I just want to give I had to put that one in there, of course. So, but other than that, yeah, that's pretty much that for the chat board. Do we have any other questions for them, Justin or Bill?
Justin?
I am good.
Okay.
JT?
I actually am good as well. I think and Bill, do you have any other questions for Backtrack Vocals or?
No, in the immortal words of Imagine Dragons, there's nothing left to say.
We
Hey,
wanna-
I like that song and I like Imagine Dragons, and I have no shame in saying that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That-
The
that-
person who knows who we're taking a shot at, you know who you are.
Oh,
You know
yes.
who you are.
One of our dear friends is like, we don't like Imagine Dragons. But we're
He
like,
knows who he is.
he knows who he is. It's okay. But we want to thank first and foremost Backtrack Vocals for coming on our podcast once again to promote their new album and to share some love and share some love. Where can they find you have a YouTube channel? I know that you are in social media as well, right?
Yeah, we're on social media. All social media. We're on Instagram at Backtrack Vocals, TikTok at Backtrack Vocals, YouTube
at
at Backtrack
Backtrack
Vocals.
Vocals.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
all the social medias.
Cool. And Bill, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and check out www.backtrackvocals.com.
Yes.
Yes. For all your tour information. So if because I don't know if we told you this the last time you guys were here. We have actually reached listeners all across the globe that have downloaded our podcast. So hopefully this gets out there to more and more people that can download our show, and they'll hear that, oh, Backtrack Vocals, what's this? And then they'll say, and hopefully word will catch on for you guys. So
Maybe it'll reach the Seychelles, you know.
I was about to say.
Yeah, go see him in, what was it? Yeah. And guys, thank you for coming. And like we said last time, open invite, come back anytime.
Anytime you want.
Thank you.
Justin, JT, Bill, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No
Well,
problem.
We're gonna sign off right now, but we want to thank you, of course, for watching, listening, however you enjoyed us tonight. Thanks so much for tuning into our exclusive interview with Backtrack Vocals from New York City. And but for all of us here at the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag and Backtrack Vocals, stay safe, take care.